Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jamesville-DeWitt High School here in DeWitt, New York, where we're bringing you this Section 3 rivalry in girls lacrosse against the ESM Spartans versus your very own Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Hi, everybody. Nick Dekaney here, joined alongside my cameraman, Sam Gelfand, and we are pleasured to be able to bring you this fine contest here on this Monday night, a beautiful night here in central New York. We are spoiled with the weather, just about 80 degrees, so we're going to take it while we have it, and right before the snow hits on Wednesday. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams 4-2 on the season so far, looking to make that 5-2 here tonight against what we can say a struggling ESM squad so far to this point. 0-7 and 0-3 within their conference, have yet to get a win. Nearly beat Whitesboro, and they lost 12-11 early in the season. So you better believe they are looking for one and are hungry for a W here tonight. Both coaches just talking things over with their players right before we get to the opening draw. Once again, we thank you so much for joining us here on JDTV. We have our own comment section, so if you'd like to talk about the game or even criticize my commentary, feel free. We more than welcome that, and if you have something we like, we may even read it out on the air. And out for the draw right now, that's number 22 for the Spartans, Mary Grace Goldleski. The leading scorer for the Spartans up to this point in the season with 9 goals and 4 assists on the year. And for the Red Rams, that's Kate Barkley, who's been so efficient on these draws all season long. We saw Maris Kessler in predominant of their draws against Fulton. But it'll be Barkley that starts here tonight. And we're off our way, and Ballatin has the soaring save. Now Kessler able to regain control. Barclay facilitating. Jamesville-DeWitt known to take patience on their opening offensive possessions. But no patience there. As number 12, that's Brooke Bort. Gets things opening here for the Red Rams. They go up 1-0 in a quick fashion. And that's Brooke Bort already with number 1 on the day, adding to her season so far of 7 goals and 5 assists. So the Red Rams strike first in this rivalry. 24-29 left, only a minute into this game. They've already opened up a lead. Now it's Hildreth's turn to get the draw control. Ballatin finding Caroline Stone underneath, and Caroline Stone adds quickly to the Jamesville-DeWitt lead. They go up 2-0 in about only a minute of gameplay so far. Caroline Stone, the sophomore attacker, having a great sophomore season up until this point. Now 8 goals and 9 assists on the season. The team leader in assists, as a matter of fact. Barclay again just continuing her dominance so far on the draws. ESM has had a struggling year to say the least. I mentioned it earlier, 0-7 so far, and just looking for their first win. What a nice stop there by Adriana Reed. Able to sweep things in possession of the Spartans. ESM last week 4-8 lost in the sectional semifinals, I believe, to Whitesboro, but yet they lost all their top 3 goal scorers from last season. All were seniors, all left the team. And let's just say this is a much younger and inexperienced ESM team this year. The ill-advised pass misses the mark. And Barkley tried to find Durkin underneath, but could not connect. That was Leia Rem trying to find some space. Now here comes Podleski, chasing by Barkley. Podleski, one of the few bright spots this season for the Spartans, 9 goals and 4 assists on the year. And a turnover there for the Spartans, and it falls in the hands of Teresa Grosso. So this is much of the game plan that JD will look to install throughout this one. Just control the offensive side of the ball, keep those draws in your favor. And that's their plan, to keep track of business. Lauren Parker, the defensive, trying to get all the way down the field to get her first goal of the season. Unable to come up with it there. 22-10 left in this first half of play. Here comes Leia Rem again for the Spartans. That pass attempt blocked by Barkley, who's just hounding her. And now Grosso trying to get a piece of the action. That's Anna Paduano for the Spartans, trying to facilitate. In comes Podleski, nothing there. Absolutely locked up by Brooke. Check call. And things will go back to the Spartans. And a missed pass there. Again, will fall in the hands of the Red Rams, but we'll get another foul call. And the Spartans able to cash in on that attempt. Let's take another look. Tough to see from that angle. It looked to be number 23. That's Keely Hodgel. Able to strike. Assistance early. Red Rams quickly back down the lane. But Brooke Board cashes in on the attempt. And that's her second goal already in this one. So Brooke Bort from far out off the assist. Actually unassisted. No need for help there. And we'll go back to the draw. And again, it's the Red Rams, no surprise there. And Palatine makes a quick cut down the lane. Oh, but a foul call just before she could let it fly. And Palatine will get an 8-meter attempt. Cindy Palatine been electric for the Red Rams so far this season. 7 goals and 6 assists already. Looking to make it 8 here. And that one went off the post, the back post there. It'll stay Spartans' possession, as Rem will take it herself, but she is hounded by a pack of Red Rams. Just trying to get things loose there. And Golzeski having trouble coming up with it as well. And again, this Red Ram defense has been stout early in this one. Turnover after turnover. Now things in transition. Here comes Kessler down the lane. Maris Kessler right down Main Street. Punches it in for the Red Rams. And JD now up 4-1. Trying to keep things easy so far for the Red Rams, as they're in control the way they'd like to be. And we'll get a timeout here, I believe, by the Spartans. So 18:54 here left remaining in the first half of action. And it has been all JD so far. So as I mentioned earlier, we can take a look at how these teams have done so far this season. The Red Rams 4-2, 2-0 within their conference play, picking up wins over Central Square and Fulton. 2 wins over Fulton, matter of fact. A rating of 81.8, we can think of that as a Madden-type rating to kind of give an overall idea of how strong this team has been so far. An 80.5 strength of schedule, and a goal differential of plus 4.83, ranked 9th in Section 3 thus far. We compare things to the Spartans, who, as I mentioned before, have not had the season that they've wanted so far. 0-7, a 57.3 team rating, and a 64.5 strength of schedule. And again, the Spartans actually a class up from the Red Rams, playing within that Class B of New York State. So a little bit tougher opponents, yet strength of schedule still down a little bit. But the real problem occurs in the goal differential category. You can see there a negative 7.86 goal differential for the Spartans thus far, and a 30th rank within Section 3, obviously more near the bottom of the rankings. And again, it's tough when you lose your 3 top scorers of your entire season. And those would have been Emma Beal, who had 30 goals, Riley White with 20, and Juliana Barton with 17. So that's almost your entire offense there that you've lost coming into this next season. And it's apparent within the youth of this Spartan team. They have 1 freshman, 3 sophomores, 9 juniors, and only 2 seniors on this ESM squad. So the good news is that next year they'll have a lot of experience returning and plenty of players that are willing and determined to turn around the season. And obviously things not over yet, as we're reaching the halfway point so far within this season. And we will go back to the draw. And just takes it herself is Kate Barclay. A quick advance up to Kessler. She'll think twice about that one. Pass a little mishandled. Here comes Brookport down the lane. Brookport sliding ahead. Thought about it, but she'll kick it back out. And Durkin sliding inside. Nearly had the assist from Kessler. Just fumbled that one a little bit in the stick. Now Adriana Reed trying to escape. Caroline Stone, who's just pesty defense as an attacker as well. She comes up with the turnover. Back to the Red Rams. And we'll get an 8-meter attempt. This again will be Sydney Ballatin, who's able to punch it off the bounce. Not quite. And the Spartans able to come up with the clutch stop there. And now quickly back onto offense, but Maris Kessler says no thank you. And a Kessler with those long strides just passing by those Spartan defenders. But another pass mishandled by the Red Rams. Both of these teams are now having some trouble keeping things in that pocket. $17-10 left remaining. The Spartans will have another trip on offense. Jalen advances up inside, but just off the pass there. Had a great opportunity at some points, but weren't able to convert. And back come the Red Rams with Barkley at the helm. And again out to Kessler. Looks like she'll wait to get the man up. Ballatin with the little stutter step, and Sydney Ballatin right down Main Street. Punches it in. The Red Rams up now 5-1. Ballatin just adding to the season total of goals, pushing that to 8 so far. And she'll take the bench as Nikki Militi checks in for her first action here tonight. We are right back on the draw. And Barkley, that one hits the ground. But again, Brooke Bort right there to scoop it up. Inside, that's Kessler, but a great stop from Adrian Reed. That left there was JD able to retain off the turnover. So again, Jamesville-DeWitt has just been so dominant in this time of possession so far, giving ESM such little opportunities on the offensive side. Thought they would have had one there, but again, Teresa Grosso's got her hands all over this game. And back down comes Brooke Bort. The sophomore standout finds Militi underneath the basket. And she'll convert. Nikki Militi punching one in. Off the assist from Brooke Bort. Beautifully drawn play there. Red Rams now up 6-1. And Brooke Bort just with the right idea and the right vision, finding Militi inside. That'll be Nikki Militi's first goal of the 2022 season. And what else is new? Offense finds Kessler every single time. And Kessler on the attempt, but Reed able to come up with a crucial stop. Reed actually 72 saves so far on the but back down come the Red Rams and Caroline Stone. Now her turn to get one up on the scoreboard. Already her second goal of tonight. Red Rams just keeping the pressure on the Spartan defense, not giving them any opportunity to breathe. Inside, just a little bit too cluttered. And again, back to the Red Rams. 13:54 remaining in this first half of action. And now Teresa Grosso trying to get a piece of the action. But Grosso will go back over the 30. And leave things in the hands of her attackers. Barclay. Barclay able to punch it in. Her first goal tonight so far. And Kate Barclay, just a nice play from those two. A perfect cut. And a perfect pass to lead her right into that goal. So now already 6 different Red Rams with goals in this first half of action. Such a diverse spread. And there's never one person. Red Rams are just rolling.
Into the game for the Red Rams, number 23, Megan Keogh.
So a 9-1 lead already. Just about halfway through this first half of action. Very few draws they've lost tonight so far, and a huge reason why they've been able to just control that offensive tempo. So now Sadie Withers surveying, seeing what she can do. Tried to find Durkin cutting inside, and that one's no good. Grosso again applying that pressure. Such an impactful player. And that's Fallon Coyle who comes up with it. First time we've seen her in tonight. But again, back down to Barclay. And she finds Durkin for the little hesitation. And the Red Rams push the lead open to 9 here in this first half of action. So the junior Macy Durkin adds to her already impressive goal total so far. Now 15 on the season for the Red Rams. That's the team lead.
Withers and Camiso on the draw.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No need to take Barclay off of this draw. And actually, I say that I was mistaken. That was Sadie Withers in for the Red Rams on that draw. But now down comes Endries. And she'll hold things up and try and draw up a play. Behind that cage. and just slow playing this offense. Trying to lull the Spartans to sleep, and Maris Kessler. But the deflection from Reed. Able to keep them out of the goal. And now added a couple to her total with a 45% save percentage. And that one hits the turf and finds the hands of a Spartan. And now a rare opportunity for ESM to cash in. But she's going to try and have to shake Teresa Grosso first, and unable to do so. Grosso, an absolute menace on the defensive side of the ball. Always catching her at Elevate Gym. She never skips leg day. Again, just hanging out behind that cage. Really one of the focal points of this attack. It does so much than just score for the Red Rams. 8 assists so far. And again, Sadie Withers able to get in on the action. That's her second goal on the year for the freshman. And we've mentioned it before, this Red Rams squad is littered with underclassmen and senior leadership.
On the draw for the Spartans, Rylan Camiso and Sadie Withers for the Red Rams.
So now they've reached the 10-goal lead, so we will go to a running clock within this first half. 9:27 on the official clock. And Withers will go back to the draw. Endry's giving him a move, but able to come up with her own shot. Field right now, I see a freshman, sophomore, 2 juniors, a couple seniors. And this one is just so diverse. JD just staying patient with it now. And again, Withers tried to come up on the second chance effort. Is Sadie Withers. Already her second so far tonight.
Back to the game for the Red Rams, number 24, Riley Marker.
So the Red Rams just sitting in that driver's seat so far. No signs of stepping on the brakes. And now we'll see Riley Markert take a midi position. The usual defensive now has an opportunity to cash in on some goals. Now the Spartans trying to get things going, and they desperately need it. But that one again is just turned over. And Milety's back on offense. Endries looking to run things around here. And that's Riley Markert, as we said, in that usual defensive position. Now finds herself in a little bit of unfamiliar territory. But Caroline Stone thought about it, and she's whacked over the top of the head. And they'll call that a checking foul. Tried to find Withers inside. Ball hits the turf. And can't be scooped out by either team right now. And finally, Stone takes care of it herself. So again, these Red Rams, no reason to rush anything on offense when you've got an 11-goal lead with 6 minutes left in the first half of play. Stone just looking for an option. And Endries underneath. Got her pass picked off, but picks it up again. And Campbell Endries just doing things herself. The 5th goal so far this year for the junior. And now 9 different Red Rams have scored in this opening half. And if you're a Spartan, who do you focus on? Too many weapons. .433 left remaining. And now Riley Markert trying to create some offense. Valentin again just staying into that game. Seems to be the heartbeat of this offense. And it's good games like this that give the Red Rams an opportunity, and even the Spartans as well, putting a little more of those inexperienced players as Sydney Valentin drops a beautiful dime going top right. Her second here tonight. But as I was saying, these type of maybe less competitive games allow both sides to put in some more inexperienced and younger players and give them those opportunities that they may not have otherwise going up against a more competitive and really physical game. And obviously we've seen that for the Red Rams. Haven't seen senior Lindsay Hildreth in much of this first half. But the Red Rams actually 4 games on the schedule this week. So if there's no need, why overplay some of your starters? And the Red Rams just playing catch right now. But Maris Kessler has that one stuffed by Adriana Reed. And now Leah Rem trying to create things on the fast break. But she is just flattened by Caroline Stone. No other choice but to cough it up. Again, these Red Rams, These Spartans, excuse me, just struggling to find offense, but here's an opportunity. Trying to get inside. Nick Malady not having any of it. The track star just tried to run the Jets there for a second, but changed her mind. So now back to Endries. She looks to take things herself. Well, she psyched me out. Jamesville-DeWitt. Just taking a sweet team. An excellent season up until this point for the Red Rams. A couple of tough losses, however, against West Genesee and Auburn. But of course, both of those teams are Class B. And Riley Markert tried to give this shot inside, but she was fouled. So with 24 seconds remaining in this first half, she'll have an 8-meter attempt. Trying to get her first goal of the 2022 season and of her varsity career. And she does so. Riley Markert just drops it down the chute. And the Red Rams put up 14 in this first half of action. So Riley Markert does it herself, unassisted on the 8-meter shot, and picks up her first goal of her varsity career. And the Red Rams go into halftime up 14-1 in a dominant, and I mean dominant, first half of action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of action in tonight's Section 3 lacrosse matchup between the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams and the ESM Spartans. The first half was all Jamesville-DeWitt, taking a 14-1 lead with 10 different Red Rams all scoring in that opening half of action. Look to do much of the same in this half, and ESM just trying to find some sort of life on the offensive side. So again, Riley Markert playing that middle position, getting some more experience, and the goals are flipped. And the Red Rams will now be attacking on that right side. So now Leah Rem trying to find something. But again, this Jamesville-DeWitt defense is so pesky. And now Macy Durkin, the facilitator, slowing things down for the offense. Back in now is senior Lindsay Hildreth. Didn't play much of that first half of action. And I mentioned earlier, Red Rams with 3 other games this week. So trying to rest up their starters and keep them fresh for some more competitive games. And Endry's hanging around that right side of the goal. Guarded heavily, and that'll be a checking foul. So Endry's right around that 12-meter line. And the pass just a little bit off the mark there to Ballatin will result in a turnover. And again, the lead is over 10, so we are on a running clock. Unless ESM is able to draw it within 9. And that pass now for the Spartans goes over the head. And that's number 9, Fallon Coyle, playing that midi position. And a beautiful night here in central New York. Temperatures right around 80 degrees. One of the nicest days we've had of this year so far. But of course, we live in Syracuse, New York, so it'll be snowing here on Wednesday. Temperatures will be a little under freezing. So you got to enjoy it while we got it. And what better way to do that than to watch some girls lacrosse? One of the premier teams here at Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics. But what's been a very successful spring season so far for the school. Of course, the boys lacrosse team has a historic tradition of success. They're playing excellent. Both baseball and softball teams doing well. The track teams, really everything around this Jamesville-DeWitt Athletics is buzzing. And what a better time to do it. The springtime, the sun's finally coming out. Things feel good. Hard to believe a high school senior I am. I'm going to be graduating here in just a few months. Hard to leave this place, but brighter things ahead in the future. So the Red Rams just going to play that patient game and try and run as much as clock as possible. Not going to try and force anything. And really no reason to. Caroline Stone hanging around the back of the cage. Trying to find Market inside, but that one's turned over. But again, we'll get a checking foul on the Red Rams. Excuse me, on the Spartans. ESM just not playing a very efficient or technically sound type of lacrosse. A lot of drop passes, a lot of invalid fouls that didn't need to be committed. But again, that's the growing pains of having a more younger and inexperienced team who's just trying to find their footing within Section 3. So we've dipped under the 20 minutes remaining in this second half of action. Neither team has scored yet within these first 5 minutes. In comparison to that first half that we saw, felt like Jamesville-DeWitt had 3 goals in just about a minute of play. And that's what can make them so dangerous as a team. Very athletic, has a lot of speed on the outside, and they can score in a heartbeat. But I mentioned it before, just in a more experimental lineup right now. A couple of defensive players on that attack side are playing in that midi position. So coach is potentially hinting at a lineup for next season as well. And for the Spartans, just trying to get that first win of the season. And I've been in a similar position. Was mentioning it earlier, I've been in a similar position to the one of the Spartans that are in now. My sophomore year of football, a 1-8 season. Only one win, which came in one of the last games of the season. And it could be a very demoralizing thing to try and bring your best night in and night out and still come up short, but the relationship you create with your teammates throughout that kind of journey, regardless of whether you win or lose, is something you'll never forget. And when you're finally able to cash in on that one win, and maybe it's not even a win, it's some moment within the season that you really remember, or something that means a lot to you, that's what really matters about high school sports. If you get caught up in whether you won or lost, you lose the joy of everything else. It's the journey you took to get there, not necessarily the end result. So the Red Rams look like they might just hold this ball the entire second half. And almost 10 minutes have already gone by. And we're going to try something new on the broadcast. We got some time to kill. So my partner, Sam Gelfand, ran to the concession stand. He's going to get us some food to try. We're going to review it to you guys live on the air and see just kind of what heat this JD concession stand is packing. This is a time where I would love to get a special guest, maybe somebody from the crowd, whether that be a student, maybe a parent, and get them on the air and see what they have to say about lacrosse or about the season so far. You know what? At this point, it doesn't even have to be about lacrosse. It can be any kind of topic you want. As Hildreth comes up short on that goal attempt. But just the thought of bringing someone in that has no broadcast experience and seeing what they can do on the mic. So if any of you in the comments still watching, want to be featured, potentially get on air, drop it down below. Maybe we'll consider it. And a big collision there involving Riley Markert and Adriana Bird. just about reaching the 15-minute mark within the second half of play. And a turnover will lead things to the Spartans. And funny enough, Andriana Bird, actually the daughter of one of the math teachers here at Jamesville-DeWitt High School, Mrs. Bird. Little shout out to her. She teaches calculus. A couple of other junior and sophomore year math classes. Wasn't able to have her and have the privilege of being in one of her classes, but everything I hear from my friends is she's a wonderful teacher, and that class has a lot of fun. So I'm sure some of her students might be talking a little bit of smack to her, maybe in class tomorrow. Now, her son also runs for the ESM track team. So the Bird influence flies a little bit out of the Jamesville-DeWitt nest. And here comes Sam Gelfand with our very first 2022 season camera. We're going to get the camera on me. We have a concession stand food review. Look at this slice of pizza. Let's see if we can get up to the camera. This is trippy with two of them. Look at that. Can't tell you where it's from. Maybe, I'm thinking Mario and Salva's, maybe some Pavones.
It doesn't look like Mario and Salva's.
All right, well, we'll go with Pavones for now. But nonetheless, a very formidable slice of pizza. Pepperoni, of course. And now, I don't want to give you guys any ASMR, so I'm going to mute the mic for just a second while I chow down on and take a bite out. First bite, I could say a confident 7.5 out of 10. Not too bad. A little bit heavy on the tomato sauce, but I'm liking the overall flavor. The crust isn't too thick, not too thin either. And believe it or not, I actually am an experienced pizza review man. Have filmed one for my school announcements with one of my friends. We did a Mario and Salvo's versus Pavones debate. Caught a lot of controversy. Let me tell you, high school students do not take well when you throw shade on their favorite pizza company. So, I was under heavy fire there for a couple of days after that one aired. But thankfully, we don't know the source of this pizza, so I can criticize without, being targeted. So, City Ballatin was checked there. And she'll have an 8-meter attempt.
Go as far as you want with the pizza review.
Ballatin hanging outside, and of course she connects. The first goal of the second half comes with 12 minutes left remaining. 13 minutes gone by with no goal from either side. But Sydney Ballatin ends that and has a hat trick here tonight. All right, so we're back with the close-up camera. And I guess you guys get to watch me eat pizza live on air. You never thought you would get to see this, so you should feel privileged. That's a beautiful slice of pizza. Really solid pepperoni. And as I was chowing down on a delicious slice, Kalia Mashi gets a save here tonight, coming in for starter Lucy Kibe. And probably the first time Mashi even saw a Spartan attacker get close to the goal in the second half. So the score remains 16-1 with 10:30 left remaining. And the Red Rams will just go back to playing the waiting game. I think this calls for me to take another bite. I guess we'll do this for every time. May as well, right? I hope you all are amused at home. This might be the most entertaining broadcast of the entire season thus far. So you should feel blessed you're getting to watch me eat live on air. Not many people get to see that. This may be the only time in your life you'll see any commentator, regardless of the level of professional, collegiate or not, will eat a slice of pizza live on air. You won't forget this. And that's what we provide here at JDTV. Memorable broadcasts that leave a mark on you and leave you thinking for the rest of the night, maybe the rest of the week. So Endries, unable to come up with it, but recovers her own shot. And now Balton inside. And a nice save there from Adriana Reed. I believe that's her third of the game tonight, adding to her already impressive total of 72 coming in here tonight. I don't think I can refuse a nacho. So we're getting you the full palate review of JD Concession Stand, and so far, I'm very pleased with my experience. Would recommend all of you, if you're hungry at one of these games, head on down there. And Campbell Endries, able to get one more, will not go quietly into the night.
Goal, number 5.
Bounce right off that side post, but rolls in for her second goal tonight. So 7:45 left remaining. And again, we may as well go back to the down cam. Not show here. We'll review this as well. I mean, that's everything you want in a chip, really. Nice saltiness to crispiness ratio. And, not too bad. Not stale at all. A nice crunch. So far, the JD Concession Stand is 2 for 2. And now Brooke Bort, running down the lane, was trying to get the pass. But again, they're just going to lull the ESM defense to sleep. And what fun this must be for Kalia Mashi, the James-DeWitt goalie. Mashi, excuse me.
I think it's Kayla.
Just getting to stand out there and be a part of the team. Not much asked upon her tonight. And again, the Red Rams just kind of playing catch. In no hurry to really get anything done offensively. And it seems like they've had the ball for what may be the entire second half. We're about 20 minutes into this second half so far. And ESM, I think, had one trip down on offense. And now Balton found Lainey Bort inside, who tried to punch it in, but just a little bit off the mark. The sophomore twin sister of Brooke Bort with 2 goals on the season, was trying to make it a third there. And I think this may set some records for possibly the quickest varsity lacrosse game so far this season. Well, certainly this season, but maybe in the last 5 years, potentially. And, you know, I think when you reach a situation like this, I love to see the positions flip. So I'm talking, I want to see all the attackers go play defense and all the defenders go play attack and see just how they can do, because at this point, the lead is so great that really no reason to keep on that pressure. So why not get a couple defenders there on attack? They've done that already with Riley Markert, but put a couple more over there and see what they can do with the ball in their hands. Exactly. Put Lucy Cobb out there on offense and just let her go to work. So we've dipped under the 4-minute mark now. And for those of you, if you're still watching, I'm impressed you have listened to me for this long. And now Caroline Stone comes up with the goal. 2-on-1 opportunity. But that one goes out of the stick of Riley Markert. Markert got her first goal, first varsity career goal, earlier in this match. But just couldn't quite come up with number 2 there. So now the Spartans back on offense for one of the first times in the second half. And the Spartans finally able to punch one in. Last goal came within those first 5 minutes of the first half. And now able to get one more with 3 minutes left remaining. And I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but I'm hearing some things amongst the grapevine that our softball team just won 32-0.
32-2 against Fulton.
Say that one more time.
32-2 against Fulton.
32-2, they won against the Fulton Red Raiders. I'm not even sure really what to say. That's such a wide margin. You'd think that's a football score. But even then, in football, holding an opponent to 2 points is just quite a feat. So that girls' softball team is rolling. So a pretty efficient night it's been so far for JD Athletics. As another goal is punched in, and that's Lainey Bort able to come up with the redemption shot there. Her 3rd goal of the season thus far. And I believe that makes her the 11th Red Ram to secure a goal here tonight. You know, aside from the goalies, we're reaching into almost the entire team of active Red Ram players who have scored here tonight. So now under a minute left remaining, as ESM looks for one more opportunity to punch a goal in. And now the Red Rams might just hold this one until the final buzzer sounds. And really no reason not to. in what has been quite an efficient performance from them here tonight. And they certainly got the job done that they wanted to. And hopefully conserve the energy of some of their starters with 3 more games remaining just this week. So the final buzzer will sound. And the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams will be victorious 17-2 over the ESM Spartans in a just complete and utter destruction, leaving no doubt on the table that they were the better team here tonight. So Jamesville-DeWitt will advance to 5-2 on the season, with ESM respectively falling to 0-8. Still looking for that first win, and it's not going to come here tonight. Again, we thank you so very much for tuning into JDTV. If you're here to watch this entire broadcast, props to you. You got a show and a half, one to remember. You'll never forget this one. So signing off here tonight, I'm Nick Dekaney, joined by my cameraman, Sam Gelfand. We'll be back later this week for a baseball broadcast. I believe that'll be tomorrow night, doing no rain cancellation. So stay tuned for updates on that. And if not, have a very good night wherever you may be. Thank you very much.